After 2 weeks, kind of assess the line play and what you've seen and what you guys need to improve on.
Well, I think, I really like the maturity of the guys and how they have come out and prepared. So I was talking to Makai going into week one. I was like, one thing about it is, like, I have no idea. We as a group have never been through a game week. And so you just don't know how guys are going to prepare for it. But I've been really impressed with how mature they've been and going about their preparations. Something that I always talk with those guys is the demeanor that I want up front with the O-line and always working to get that. You're seeing it, but just being consistent with it. Our footwork, fundamentals, that'll be stuff that we're going to continue to work on every day. And that'll be something that we'll continue to progress. But, the main thing I want to see those guys is playing fast, being physical, and finishing plays.
You talk about you didn't know what you'd get out of those guys. Have you been surprised at all, particularly in a game week, with their preparation and how they've prepared, kind of gone through those weeks?
Yeah, I was really impressed with how they were really into the game plan. And when we were on the field, I'm still trying to get them to practice at the level as far as like how hard we've got to come out and strain every day and practice. So the first day we came out, it wasn't to the standard that we wanted. The next day they came out, you saw a huge improvement. And so they want to do well, man. And that's such a joy as a coach is when I ask these guys or point out the things that they need to improve on, you see them trying to do that day in and day out. And so I've been really, really impressed with that, really pleased with it. And it's fun. We're just starting this whole, this is our first year together, these relationships that we're forming, the bond that we have. And so all of this is the expectations at practice, what all we're working on. It's all brand new for all of us as far as getting to know each other. But as they are learning, you're seeing a lot better practices. Guys are being a lot more crisp. And, I've been really pleased with how the preparations have been going through the season.
So many thought this line was kind of an unknown going into the year. With them, you guys are first in the ACC in rushing, top 15, I think, in the country. Is this what you thought they could put together so early in the season?
The thing is, we try not to get caught up in, looking up and seeing where we are rankings-wise or anything like that. It's really about, we talk about three things: speed off the ball, toughness, and finish. And literally, I talk to those guys, when we walk out of this room, this is what the expectation is. At the end of the year, we'll take a look back and but I just want them playing the style that I think alignment needs to play at. And doing that, I think that we can be really good up front. And so, but to me, it's just getting that mindset and getting those three pillars that we always talk, hammered home, where it's second nature to them now.
Are you getting that on a consistent basis, that where you're happy about plays when you watch the film?
We are. I think there were times. I thought last week was a big challenge for this team. It was a Monday night was opening night. The car from the card march to the atmosphere in the Cardinal Stadium, that was phenomenal. And just going through that game, and it was a physical game, and then having a quick turnaround where you're playing 5 days later. That's tough, man. That's tough on these kids. And I was really impressed with how quick they were able to kind of turn it around. And there were times when I thought that we were a little flat, but they answered a call when we challenged them about that. And to me, you got kids that want to do well. And I think when you got that, that's what you want as a coach. The guys want to do what it is that you're asking them to do.
How do you go about the rotation with TJ and Cole? And it seemed like they played maybe even snaps in Notre Dame, and maybe TJ a little bit more on Saturday. Yeah,
I think typical what I've been doing the last 2 weeks, and it's really just kind of see. It's kind of like when you're going in there, that center is kind of like the quarterback position. Sometimes when you're playing two quarterbacks, you'll say, all right, the first one will get 2 series, the second one will sit here and kind of watch those series, kind of see what's going on, listen to the adjustments we're making, and then he can go in and the other one can kind of come out and kind of see, and hopefully it can slow down a little bit for him. You know, and to me, that 6th, 7th lineman, it's not just having, like, that guy's got to play multiple positions. So you'll see that guy, whoever it is, he's going to play guard. He'll play some tackle. He'll play some center. And so that's the whole goal with that. You know, and the snaps with it, we're not trying to have a snap number. What I've done the last couple of weeks is, you know, if it was a quick first series, we'd start rotating right away. If it wasn't, TJ would go 2, then Cole would go in, and then it was like every other series or something like that. And I told them literally, I was like, you guys got to help control that. So I'm going to be into the game, but just understand, like, that's what we're trying to look to get to with the snaps and stuff.
Is it one of the TV guys said something about left and right-handed? Is it any different having Cole or TJ in there for the quarterback?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, everything that we're doing is gun snaps, and you know, the way the ball's coming back there, I think it's the same from a right-handed snapper to a left-handed snapper.
The depth-wise, do you feel like you're developing? I know I think Ronaldo got in.
Yeah, Ronaldo got in. Adonis Boone got in there, and you know, I thought those guys went in there, and it was good to see them going and playing against another team, and I thought they competed well. And you know, both of those kids they're working hard and trying to be one of those guys for us, and I was impressed with what they went in and did in the game this past week.
As far as an offense as a whole, just the running backs, you mentioned when we were in the stadium a couple weeks ago, you were excited to see what those guys could do, and Javen and Hassan have really shown out the first 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, we were excited when we got here in spring and we saw how those guys were running the ball, and all summer just how they prepared in the weight room, and also just the running they did, and going through fall camp. I mean, they just kept getting better and better. And it's fun watching those guys go out and compete on Saturdays. They run hard. They play behind their pads, and they bring a lot of energy to us offensively.
During the season, you talked about depth. How do you build that depth during the season? It's easy to do it in the summer, but how do you do that when you're trying to get reps for all the starters during the season? Yeah,
you know, it's difficult. What you try to do is when time permits, because my whole thing is like, I'm on like whoever that 6th or 7th lineman is. To me, he's not a left tackle or right tackle. He's got to be that next best lineman's got to be able to play all of them. Because I want the next best lineman to be able to go in the game, and that next best lineman may be better than our backup left tackle. And so the versatility is what I try to do there in practice throughout the whole year, to sprinkle them in, like whoever that 6th guy is. All right, go to left tackle here. All right, go to right guard. And so that way now they're kind of getting a good knowledge of all the positions up front with it.
Are you conscious of that going throughout practices? Because I mean, especially at offensive line, it's kind of not very deep behind us.
Yeah, and we're not, and I am. You know, as far as like I write down on my script. All right, I need Cole to go here at center. I need him to go to left guard this rep. I need him to play tackle this last series. You know, just so I can try, because I want it to be a surprise for them. I want them to feel comfortable and put them in situations where they can have confidence and to be where they feel like they can go out there and succeed.
Dwayne, how big of a challenge is this week, the first road game? You guys coming off of a victory, but going on the road for the first time. What kind of a challenge is the week, and does Western Kentucky pose?
Western Kentucky is a defensively. I mean, they got a defensive end that's as good as these guys that we've played throughout the whole season. Number 10, he plays with a great motor. He can get to the quarterback. They have some good safeties, but they're very sound. They're going to be where they need to be. They play fast. They play hard. But, you know, just this is our first time that we've taken our team on the road. It's our first time we've taken a trip. Now, obviously, here at home, we stay at our team hotel. So they got a little bit of the routine. And we'll try to keep that as much the same as it is as we're being home. And just try to keep them with that routine. But, you know, playing in a new stadium, we're trying to, the football field's just the same. It's just like the one here at Cardinal Stadium. And, you know, the expectation is to go out and play the way that we are expected to play every time we step on the field. And but as a coach, you're always kind of sitting back there and just, all right, is everybody going to be here on the bus? Is everybody going to find the meal room on time? Making sure there aren't unnecessary distractions throughout the trip and stuff like that. So it's something that you always think about. But like I said, when we first started talking about this as a team, that first night in the hotel when we were playing Notre Dame, we were in the team hotel, and one of the first things I told Coach Sal is like, man, the guys are mature. Like they're focused, they're into it. It's not where they're just there at the hotel trying to have a good time. This team is hungry, man. They want to go out and play good football and win football games. And that's fun as a coach because you can see that, like you're talking to them, it's all attention, it's all eyes. All right, be here at this time, they're there. And so that's what you want, that's that culture that you want, and these guys have done a great job with it.